Alive.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to Session 2 of the Village Hidden in the Mist, also known as the Village Over Yonder. The Monsters and Myths Backer Kit campaign. Nope, that's wrong. The Monsters and Myths campaign by Skylarkin Media. I'm your Dungeon Master Drew, joined today by Maddie Hoyas. Cameron
Hello.
We're live.
Maddie, also aka known as
Fizz.
Perfect.
Trixie Fizz Fitzweld, but Fizz.
Ash, aka Olin.
Yep. Happy Equinox. I am playing our boy Olin, resident bug enjoyer and Pokemon master.
And last but not least, just for today's session, Cameron, aka Jin.
Hey, good night, everyone. Glad to see you again.
Unfortunately, Marcus, aka Marcus, will not be with us this session as he has decided to go off on a little adventure of his own throughout the town to hopefully figure out some other secrets that may be awaiting our fair travels party. First, we'll start off with a little recap. Our party made their way, well, Trixie, Olin, and Marcus made their way through the mist via boat, where they landed upon the lovely and vibrant shores next to the fish market. After a little bit of shenanigans and turning down the wholesome snow cone treats offered, they stopped by the homage and statue to Gran, the original matriarch of the village over yonder. From there, they decided to investigate the sounds they heard coming from a nearby metal workshop, where they were fortunate enough to meet Mia and Ed. After some shenanigans ensued and a small, albeit non-insignificant injury to Ned, they were left to peruse the outside of the shop, after which they heard a small scuttle coming from the rum shop, as a lanky, boisterous man walked by yelling swears towards some of the other rum shop patrons. After going and investigating the rum shop for a little bit, the party, well, some of them discovered what Domino's is. However, they were quickly had their attention drawn back to the metal workshop, however, not without running into a small nest of centipedes hidden underneath the coconuts. Upon the reprisal at the metal shop, Ned promised them that he would help them out and teach them some of his tricks and of the trade if they could go up towards the jungle, towards the east, up near the cliffs and the bluff, to eradicate some of these centipedes that had been plaguing the town. And that's where we are now. So, adventurers, you find yourself standing in the shop surrounded by cobwebs. High up, obviously clearly dirty, all forms of different machinery and machinations, some bolted down to this gravel floor on little swaths and patches of concrete slabs. The patron and artist here, Ned, with his wrist bandaged, and the floor is yours.
All right. Well, do we have to kill the centipedes, or can we just kind of acquire them? Can I have a centipede is what I'm asking. Mom, can I have a centipede?
I'm like, oh God. Fine. I've been working on.
You can have a rock if I can have a centipede. That's a fair
Now
trade.
this is not a democracy. child.
You're right. It's
Um,
not. I have the money. Give me a centipede
It's true.
or no money.
I have the cool things. I'm gonna actually I've been working on this, so I'm gonna rummage in my pouch and pull out a ball. It looks like it's metal-ish, painted a little bit, and it kind of I'll show him how to press a button, and it pops open. It kind of twists and pops open, and you can throw this at the things and see if you can catch him. But I mean, if you can't throw, then you might have
Holy shit,
trouble.
did you
I
build
am
a
not
Poke-
getting anywhere. I did build a Pokeball for you, son,
How the fuck
because I
did you
love you.
build a Pokeball?
because I
You
am
talk
still
to
genius.
rocks. What the?
I
That's
sometimes
as Ned chimes
sometimes I'm
in.
astonished.
As Ned chimes in, that's an interesting looking contraption you got there. Wait, I can kind of think I understand how that works. Question:
Mm.
Does the creature of sorts have to fit inside? Like it has to be of size to fit inside?
I'm
Or
working on the specifics for now. Small and slightly larger. There's a sort of dimensional thing that happens, and it'll get pulled in anyway. I can't do anything very big just yet. I'm working on it though. I'm always working on it. I don't want to come anywhere near, but my kid likes creepy crawlies, and I figure I may as well try to make him happy sometimes because, if he's happy, I'm sane. So
and he
this
gets
helps.
this little smirk on his face. I think you'll find that that sometimes size and space around the village doesn't always work as it seems. So that might work better than you think.
Oh, please do tell me more. See if his eyes light up. Like, really?
I think our original plan was quid pro quo. Quid pro quo. You,
Yes.
hit with that. So, like I said I'd help y'all if y'all help me with this. These nasty centipedes is coming here and want to bite my foot all the time. And I believe the other people in the village have had issues with them as well. So, you managed to scamper your way up the hill. Get rid of the nest up there that I've heard of them, pecking around in, and share a couple secrets with y'all.
Jin has a question for Fizz.
Sure, go ahead.
I look to, so I think her son has the, I can't remember. What's the son's name?
Olin.
Alwyn. So I look at Alwyn because he has the contraption, as you call it.
Mm-hmm.
And
I handed it to him.
I want to
It's a little bit bigger than a
I
baseball.
want to take it. No, he's taller. He's as tall as me.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work for what I wanted to envision. So I look at it and I kind of ask him to show me it. And then I look at Fizz and I ask if this can trap people too.
No, Fizz, I think Fizz has a decent sense of moral code, and she would probably stay away from trapping anything or creating.
Yeah.
Also, the arcane installment of it all starts to get a bit fizzy once you start messing with sentience and being able to trap sentience.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think Fizz would have incorporated anything like that into this.
No.
Why is that where your mind goes, though, man? What the hell? Do you have someone that needs to get trapped?
I mean,
Are you gonna trap us? What's going on here?
I said I'm not after. What do I want to say? I'm gonna say we'll speak later, and I just dismiss him and I start walking up the hill.
At this time as well, you can start to hear the soft pitter patter of light raindrops falling on this corrugated sheet metal roof. as the light outside has begun to dim and whatever storm in the distance has begun to roll in.
Ooh.
That's probably fine, right? We can deal with that. We can press
Well,
onwards.
Can I tell if it's going to be, or I guess I can ask if it's going to be, do you think it's going to be lightning? Do you think it's going to be like something electrical in this storm, or is it just going to be rain?
I know weatherman, but depends on how bad it get.
Okay.
If I would, a word of warning: if the lightning starts to come down, I'd stay away from some of the larger sculptures I have outside.
This is the thing. I like to try to. It's a lot to explain. She's very like animated. Pull out like a little
Trying to catch
little,
lightning in a bottle
antenna.
for a couple years.
Yeah, kind of. This is like it's something that I'm working on. It's meant to be rechargeable with lightning, and I'm gonna pull up a little antenna kind of thing and just set it on the side by the gate, like just in case there's actual lightning. So I'm busy doing that. I'm oblivious to the fact that I probably look absolutely insane.
I give you
Sure.
like the Zorak blink stare.
Blink, yeah, blink, blink.
Hey, Mom, do you have any other like highly conductive hunks of metal on you that we should know about before we go?
Fizz, as
Are
you're
you
setting that
fast?
up, can you give me either an intelligence flop, kismet, or an essence, please?
Ooh, I have all three. What do I want to do?
The
I'll do
highest one.
essence, but I can't. Well, intelligence is 10, and essence is 9. But I'm actually interested in finding the magic of this place, so I'm gonna do essence. But I can't. The cards are not working for me, so you might have to pull for me, Drew.
Okay, no problem. I shall indeed. Huh. The infamous no face. Oh,
Oh, it was what is it? An ace?
it's ace. Okay.
Well, I have 9 plus 9.
That is a critical success. And you are doing it in
Essence.
essence. Perfect. No problem. As you look around and begin to set up this lightning rod, for lack of a better term, you can look around and see some of these fluid sculptures that Ned has set up here in the yard. Some of them you can tell have definitely seen some sort of high energy impact towards the tops of them, whether they're dancing with one hand raised or what appears to be an armor hand raised. And you looking around and seeing the angles and the positioning of them, you managed to find one in particularly that seems to have a more singed aspect to the top, almost as if whatever digits or end of this sculpture has almost burnt a couple times. This one seems to be struck the most in whatever sort of natural phenomenon happens. And you feel pretty confident setting up your lightning rod, for lack of a better term, on the top of this.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of waiting and seeing.
Seeing if I can trap some of that nice electricity. Okay. I kind of like look at him and I say, I figure he might have a better idea of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to harness it a little bit. Like the antenna is kind of like hooked up to a little box that looks like it's got like a little peephole, but nothing else. You can't really see into the box.
You know, normally I would question this, but you just handed me a functional Pokeball, so you know.
I'm working
I'm
on
gonna
more
shut
too. Let
up
me know how
for
that
this
one
one.
works. Let me know how that one works and if I could improve it a little bit. I know it's a little clunky on the opening. I'm trying to make it smoother.
I mean,
So
it
that,
feels
you
like
know.
it'll throw pretty good, and that's really what you want
Yeah.
out of a Pokeball.
It really should.
mechanism.
It really should open as it's throwing. So you kind of have to get that motion right. And
Legal terms. We can't use the
Legally
word Pokeball.
distinct Pokeball.
Yes.
Yeah.
A
A
Pokecube,
fizzball.
if you will.
A
A what ball? Fizzball. Yeah,
fizzball.
fizzball works. An essence encapsulator. Your Fizz is working on the term and name for it.
Yeah. We can't sell this stuff if we're getting into like copyright battles with Nintendo. They have
Yeah.
so much money, they'll sue us into oblivion. So we'll workshop it. But
Okay. At this point, you can clearly see in your east the direction that you need to head. Up past the rum shop, past other homes, towards the top of the cliffs and the bluffs, where there's what you assume to be the mist on the other side as it encircles and circumnavigates this whole village. And also there's the distinct presence of tropical rainforest, in a sense, a heavy gathering of trees and poking out visions of little clay hills and whatnot. And you assume, one, that's the direction you need to head, as you've been told by Ned. And secondly, that is also the direction that the Fisher folk family told you that two of their
kids were
youngest went playing. Yes.
I've got like a little piece of paper out and I'm kind of drawing and making notes, like a kind of crude map, like Statue of Grand Grand, where the rum shop is, and yeah.
Yeah, easy enough. However, you do notice as well that as you head that way, the singular road through the town kind of comes to an end about a couple hundred feet or so below the slope of the cliffs and becomes a very rough and rugged cart road before thick bushes of like lemongrass and whatnot have overgrown vines and whatnot. So you reckon it's going to be a little bit of a slog to get through there. You do have your cutlasses that have been given to you by Ned as well to help clamber or cut through any overgrowth. However, towards the end, it does look like there is a little bit of a sharp incline, and you will need to probably clamber or climb up the rest of the way to get to the top.
Okay.
okay. Jin, why don't you go first and then help us up? You seem like the most physically capable of all of us here. You're so big and strong, bro. Just
lead the way.
Yeah.
He says and leads the way. He is the tour guide after all.
Also, you
And-
dodged my question earlier, but what do you do? What's your deal?
I just think that in my line of work, it would be useful to have things to apprehend people without having to beat them to a pulp first.
And in specific terms, what would you say your line of work is? Before we go too far into this dense rainforest with you, old buddy.
I'm actually like
He-
curious too, so I'm
I smirk and said, I thought you guys hired me as a tour guide, so I'm being a tour guide right now.
I don't know how many tour guides need to like physically
Half a
abuse people
body.
into submission.
Well, let's say purely fictitious. You fall off the side of a cliff, and I don't want to climb down to get you. I compel the fizzball, attach it to a little string, capture you in the fizzball, pull you up. See? Ta-da! Works.
Mom, I think this guy's gonna push me off a cliff.
Yeah, stay inland, please. Stay on the other side of him. Thanks.
Ooh.
I'm also stay inland.
Yeah, but it was a bad joke. In actuality, I came here because I heard they had good bounty hunter contracts. It seems some of the work has dried up, so I'm being a tour guide for the moment.
Well,
Bounty
hey,
hunter
now
hunting what? For
centipedes apparently.
I just said I'm a
I
bounty
guess.
hunter. I hunt things with bounties on them, whether they're people
that's fair.
or not people.
Well, you're about to help us hunt some centipedes, as Olin just said.
And not
That's
get
kind of
paid.
cool, actually. I thought you were way less cool, but that's a pretty cool job.
Thanks. I think.
You're welcome.
Okay.
So he
Just
has
out,
up in a direction.
just out of curiosity, can I get a marching order?
I'm in the middle because I'm
first.
little. They do.
Okay. So we have Jin, Fizz, Olin.
Yep.
As you make your way up this direction, you can hear, the clapping of flip-flops as someone's running by with a newspaper over their head trying to get out of the rain. As precipitation starting to fall a little bit heavier now. The soothing pitter-patter falling off of most of these corrugated sheet metal roofs is almost like an out-of-sync steel pan. You can look on the ocean and see each little droplets like small fish coming up and nibbling at little things on the surface. You make your way up. After about a 5-minute walk uphill past the cart road to where the thicket and overgrowth is starting to become dense, and easily enough, with your strength, Jin, you're able to cut through the vines and make yourself an easy enough path to this base of what looks to be a mix of clay and stone about 20 feet high that you'll need to climb. What's y'all's plan for this?
Can I use I guess it'd be intuition? Is it intuition? Is that how I use this? Hold on a minute,
Well,
guys.
see what you want to do.
No
And let the
problem.
GM tell you.
Intuition is from psionic. Oh, nope, that's from something else. Oh, my Adobe Acrobat does not want to be friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah, intuition is from
hold on a minute.
psionics. Yes.
Right. So I wanted to use my intuition, I guess, to give it a once over, because you said it was made of clay and stone, and it's starting to rain.
Yes.
I'm trying to find how climbers find their route. I guess that's what they do. They find their route up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's what I'm looking to do. To find the safest, easiest path up the incline cliff face thingy.
No problem. 1 second as we flop. That is another critical
Sweet.
success. As easily enough, you can, staring at this and taking a beat, you're able to clearly decide which footholds and handholds would be better than others. You can see some of the clay beginning to erode and come away with the rain, or at least soften up. And with that, you can see which of these stones are more shallow. So you can look and go, that one's probably going to come out as a handhold, or that one's going to drop as a foothold if I put too much weight on it. And you're able to easily enough decide a path that you are able to climb up, and easily enough you make your way to the top.
Right. So, and the minute once I get to the top, I kind of show them which I made footholds on the way up, which should make it easier for them. And I kind of dictate how to go and where to go next and stuff like that to both of them.
No problem. Fizz, is that you next? Do you have something? You will get a bonus to this. I will give you a +3 to your flop.
Okay.
What are you using to manage to make your way up here? You have a similar intuition skill, a reflexes, a brawn, something of those sorts.
I would have to use intuition. The only other one that I could use would be adaptability. Because I am wearing like hiking type, heavy type boots. But I would use intuition.
Okay.
Which is a 5 for me.
It's a 5, no problem.
My mod.
6 + 5 + 3. That'll do it. Easy enough.
Sweet.
Thankfully, none of these footholds or handholds are too far apart. 1 or 2 of them in the middle, you do have to eke out a stretch, but you're able to also make your way up and climb. Jin easily enough has set a easily repeatable path. With a keen mind such like yours, you're able to memorize it and follow quickly behind it. Olin.
Okay.
Okay. First things first, I'm going to take off the Sonic Adventure 2 hoodie and I'm going to put that in my bag because I'll be damned if that thing gets covered in clay. And then I'm going to use the power of scrawny teenager dexterity and I'm going to try to just scramble on up there.
No problem. You'll also get a 3 to this. Yeah, easy enough. What's your modifier for your...
An 8.
8. Oh, yeah. The most... Jin's was careful and methodic. Yours is full scramble man. However, an oddly coordinated sense of limbs and gangly digits as you manage to just clamber your way up quick enough. You reckon your hoodie probably would have been safe. You don't even have a lick of clay on you at this moment.
Yeah. When your limbs are stupid long, you don't have to like make too many steps. It's great.
As you guys get to the top, easy enough. You can see ahead this forest jungle scenario now extends about 15-20 feet to the left of you is where it begins and begins to wrap around almost in a semicircle shape, going from what would be your north, making its way around to the east in front of you, and back behind it, way off in the distance, a couple hundred feet or so, you can see where the mist would begin if you were to make your way through here. However, strange enough, at the top here as well, now off to your south, the clay is mixed with what becomes jagged stone, and you look and see, and there's these small, odd tide pools up here, as every now and again a large wave crashes at the base of the bluffs, and the overcasting salt water that is thrown up top here seems to land and keep whatever ecosystem lives in these tide pools alive. However, you will notice about 40 or so feet in front of you to your left, what looks to be two kids ducking down just within the tree line with a large palm leaf over their head, trying to stay out of the rain and stay dry.
Oh. I'll be like, that's you. I believe your father's looking for you. Kind of like trying to see them.
And as you look up, and at this point they're hovering down, they're cold and shivering, and one of them kind of looks up. They've got these hoods pulled over, ponchos essentially that they seem to carry with them. Whether or not it's, what's the word I'm looking for here? Good preparedness instilled from them by their father, or they could maybe knew the rain was coming. For whatever reason, they've got this poncho coming down a little bit over their eyes and this large palm tree, and they look up and they start shivering, and they're, oh, well, thanks. We were scared of climbing down with the clay and the rain. And as you start to make your way towards them, off to your left, now about another 60 feet, about 15 or so feet within the rainforest, another two kids, identical, come out of the darkness of the forest, and you can hear their little footsteps over the leaves as they crunch them, and they go, no, wait, don't go towards them, they're not the real us. At which point the first two that you saw go, no, we're the real them, they're the liars, please help us.
Oh,
I beg your most sincere pardon.
What are y'all doing?
excuse me. Oh, I'm immediately looking for like, if I can find or kind of like feel any kind of magical aura coming from any specific side or from no specific side.
Okay.
I asked her how
I could
many
use
balls
resonance
you
for
have.
that.
Sorry. How many fizz balls do you have?
That one is the only one I have finished for now. I'm working on more. The other one I have is a prototype that kind of gets stuck when it stays open. When it's open, it's not any good. Yeah, I could use. You tell me, Drew. I could use resonance or intelligence. Work, isn't it?
Let's go with resonance.
Okay, that's a +8 for me.
With a 4 plus 8, there is definitely something strange. I mean, that's the obvious. No doubt. No shit, Sherlock. But it's beyond that. It's a strange you haven't felt yet. It's almost as if you can feel it extending deeper from within the mist, and it's making its way out this direction.
Are
However, it's just a general with a total of 12. It's just a general aura. It does instill a feeling of unease, almost a sense of the paranormal. Obviously, something very untowards is going on up here, but that's about all you're gonna get. You're not sure.
Okay.
You can't make heads or tails about either of them.
Yeah,
I would like to use. Oh, go ahead, Manny. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm gonna kind of like tap Olin and kind of say like I can't tell who's your, I don't know, you're a child. Try and, I don't know, use child senses.
I want to use clairvoyance to see if I could, which says here perception beyond the senses,
Mm-hmm.
to see if I could suss out who is fake and who's real, or who is the real children and who's not the real children.
Okay. What's your modifier?
I think my score is 7 for clairvoyance.
Okay.
Ominous.
Just wait a second while the card loads. It does not want to show me what's on it. Aha. The 12 total as well. There's, at this point you look down and it's not just the clairvoyance that you get. You notice that there's a couple things because you're not sure where to focus your senses beyond senses. Your sixth sense, if you will, in relation to these kids. However, there's a couple things that trigger. One of them are clearly hiding their face. Also, the ones that came out of the jungle or the rainforest made a step. You could visibly hear the crunch of the leaves underneath their feet. And you go, surely anything paranormal is not going to interact with our world in the same way. And you focus your attention on the first that you noticed. And as you look in, you notice that the original two huddled over, their feet are facing backwards. And as you peer deeper underneath the large palm leaf they're holding over the head and just below the poncho, there's no face save for a mouth. At which point they let out an ear-piercing shriek and begin to run at you. Okay.
That's no. Like try
This
to
is
get
fine.
behind Olin.
Don't put me first. What the hell?
You're telling me.
You're supposed to be a mother, a protector.
I don't do close combat.
As they're
And I do.
and as they do, their mouth is open. Their teeth are black and yellow stained. Their tongue almost limp within as it dangles out the side of their mouth. As they start to run, and there's limbs are gangly, cracking and creaking as they make their way towards you in unnatural movements. Can I get everyone's persona scores, please, for initiative?
My persona score is 41.
39.
52.
So I believe that is Olin first with a 52.
39.
What was yours? Fizz
I'm
with a
last.
39. Jen, yours is a
41.
41. And that is Fizz with a 39. Okay, 1 second while I try and get my sheet back up, because Adobe Acrobat does not want to play fun games. Sorry, folks, for the interruption. Just bear with me 1 second, please. Editor, put in the elevator music in this part.
Yeah.
Do, 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 do.
Oh no, legally distinct.
Nope.
Legally distinct.
No, we
please.
got 60 seconds. We're good.
Do we, or is it gone down to 15? Because I know that they get
Honestly,
crazy
I
about
don't.
copyright terms.
Okay,
YouTube look the other direction.
I have what I need. So, okay, Olin, you're up first. What are you doing?
Well, there's a horrifying nightmare creature running towards me, and I happen to have a cutlass in my hand.
Ooh.
So I think I'm gonna swing at it.
Yeah, they have their ashy gray skin pockmarked with what look like pustules of yellowish greenish liquid, 2 to 3 feet tall. And as you notice at this point, their mouth is now lamprey eel style as it extends, and there's an inner pharyngeal jaw that seems to be extending.
I'm freaking out. I'm trying to cut that tongue off. That I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What are you trying to? What? How are you trying to hit this? Are you just going with brawn?
I would love if I could use finesse because
Finesse?
I'm way better at that.
All right, no problem.
The only gym I go to is the legally distinct Pokemon gym.
Okay, what's your modifier?
10.
10. No problem. That's going to be a 15. And they are going to get. Ooh, 15 is going to do it. Roll your damage.
Okay.
So that is a 7 points of damage. As you slash through this first one, you notice that their reflexes are very quick. However, this one not being able to jump out of the way quick enough, as you slash down, cut into it, a small black ooze starts to drip down out over its shoulder.
Oh, that's so gross. That's so gross. That's so gross.
That really is gross.
All right, Jin, you're up.
Jen, help us.
So, all right. So, in Dungeons and Dragons, you use your weapons to attack, right?
Yes.
So, and you roll based on their hit thing. So, how does it work for this?
Right. So you're going to choose a trait or skill that has a modifier. Usually, I mean, you can choose any of them, but something that you're proficient in or that you have a modifier for, right? So if you noticed, Olin used his finesse as he was trying to find the right moment to carve and do so quite gracefully, as he did. If you're going with brawn, you're just going straight. 1 second as I pull up. Right. If you're going with just straight brawn, that's just strength. I mean, you can try and do intelligence, try and find perhaps a weak point. If you're going psionics, perhaps you can use intuition with your weapon. Arcana, you can try and channel an essence. You're looking for things that you can add on, and how you describe your attack essentially, and then you will flop. So you will turn over your card for you, and then you'll add your modifier onto that, and I will tell you whether that hits based on their base defense plus their reflexes.
Okay. I think I will. I want to do something cool, but I figure I will leave that for later. So I'm just gonna. I'm gonna use finesse as well.
Okay.
And attack with the cutlass, or again aiming for the head.
All right. That's a 6. What's your modifier?
My modifier is a 7.
7. So that's a total of 13. Am I correct? My math? Yeah, 13.
Yeah.
They are going to. Let's see if that hits. That's going to be against their base defense. Oh, that's a crit defense. As you go straight for the head, you notice it almost snaps completely 90 degrees past it, maybe even 120 down as your cutlass just goes over and his head just snaps back up. And as it looks and turns its face, its eyeless face towards you.
I sigh and says it's going to be one of those days.
You are way too normal about what's happening right now, my man.
Okay.
You actually say that to me, or you actually say that to him?
Yes, I do, because you just saw a nightmare creature snap its neck to dodge a cutlass, and you went, oh, just another Monday.
I hate Mondays.
All right, Fizz, you're up.
Okay. I have a knife. I think we were all given knives, right? Or we were given cutlasses?
You were given
Cutlasses.
cutlasses. I think you have your little,
I have my
disarming
little,
knife, but
yeah.
I'm not going to lie, the cutlass seems more effective in this given situation.
True. Can you just give me a second? Okay, so I'm like from behind Olin's legs. I am going to, well, yeah, I'm gonna try with my pocket knife, my Swiss Army knife type thing first. I have a little sort of like almost like an ice poker that I use to dig like stones and stuff out of where they're nestled, and I'm gonna try to just take a swing at one of them. I don't know what I would use. I have adaptability. I mean, I don't really have any brawn at all. So
Okay.
I don't have any body, anything. I have intelligence, so I could use that.
Yep. Intelligence is fine as you are trying to find your way to attack. Oh, that's going to be a crit.
Oh, sweet.
So crits in this, you don't do double damage. However, there are buffs and bonuses to doing crits, which I will pull up now. Right, so with intelligence and wit, you're able to get a battle analysis or quickly assess a battlefield or combat situation and identify the best strategies or tactics to use. So with this crit against these strange creatures, you're able to gain the sense using that essence earlier that these creatures seem, I mean, it's no secret, they seem to be spirits of passed on youth, cursed in some way or another. So you understand that perhaps in that sense, they in turn can pass on that curse to others, at least in a very temporary form. And perhaps it'd be best to be prepared for that. We will do your damage. That is going to be a 6. And you also gain an elemental bonus. So, Fizz, do you have, I imagine, harnessing the lightning with your little ice picker or frost, perchance?
Yes.
As you do another 9 points of frost damage as you jab this ice pick into it, and you're able to pull in the precipitation in the air as it forms around the sharp point of the pick as it crystallizes into ice crystals and shatters within the wound. So that's going to be a total of 6 and 9. That's another 15 points of damage. You going after the injured one or the non-injured one?
Injured.
Injured one. No worries. All right. That is their turn. The injured one is then going to snap its head and turn looking towards you. As it reaches out its hands towards your face, and from its sleeves, multitudes of small little centipedes are going to begin to climb out, climbing all over your face, twining themselves into your hair and climbing into your eyes as it's going to attempt to curse you with its weird.
I don't like it. It's like pulling at them, dust
Which
in
is
the
going
mouth.
to
No,
be
don't do
a
that.
which is going to be
They're crawling on me.
a crit for it.
Lovely.
Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to dodge that as they begin biting and scratching at your eyes, and you will be blind for your next turn, making it harder for you to hit.
Real fast, Drew.
Yep.
I don't remember what was the determination of how we were deciding our AC. Was it our persona score
Persona score
divided by 5?
divided by 5 gives you your base defense, and then depending on the type of defense you want to use, you can add your modifier. So if your base defense is 6, you can add your brawn, which is 10, or if they're going after how fast you move, it would look for reflexes. If it was something magical, you would use something along the Arcana tree.
Right.
You know, if it was a curse,
Rounded up, correct?
What's that?
Divided by 5 rounded up.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Right. However, on a crit, unfortunately, it's just going to hit. And you're also no, that's just instilling a curse. So the second one is going to go after Olin, who hit it. They seem to be fast as it has these.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, as it has these long gnashing fingernails as it slashes into you for only 2 points of damage. Olin.
How many points of damage did I get, Drew?
Nothing.
Sorry?
It was just a curse.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Right. So I'm blind. That's right.
Yes.
I'm
Don't
as-
hold that against all
as-
centipedes.
As
This was,
yes, as the biting from them around your eyes begins to swell, and this black ooze seems to slowly drip from underneath her eyes as she begins scratching and clawing and trying to get them off.
don't
Okay.
scratch at it. It's going to make it worse. It's going to be just, you just got to write it out.
Fizz is gonna be almost hysterical, not from blindness, but from things crawling on her. Like, no.
Yep.
It's fine. Calm down. Your heart rate's going to go up and it's going to go right to your heart and you're going to die. So you need to calm down.
It's not helping.
Olin, that's your turn. Jen, you're on deck, and then Fizz afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm going to do something weird because why not? You said these things have backwards feet, right?
Yes.
Which means their Achilles should be to the front.
Yes. If they,
And I try and cut an Achilles then.
you most certainly can. Reflexes again.
Okay. Yeah, I guess if I can
Right.
keep using finesse, I would love to keep using finesse because that
All
is
right.
like
Finesse it is.
my best thing.
That is a 4 plus your finesse score is a total of
10 for 14.
14. Okay. 14's gonna wait. Yeah, 14's gonna do it. That doesn't count for damage. Does it count for damage? 3 points of damage.
Right.
As you seem to bend down and slash, however, as you notice these are quite quick in their movements, and it is able to pull its foot away. You're not sure which way that knee would have bent if you could see it. However, quick enough, you managed to get a small nick on it. Jin, you're up.
Outstanding.
What am I doing? I'm going to try Mark had wanted me to do the cool thing. He said it in the chat, so I'm gonna try to do that.
Yeah, do the cool thing before we die horribly.
Yeah, please.
I want to try to use metamorphosis
Okay.
and like specifically shift into an anaconda and wrap myself around both of them to hold them in place.
I will let you wrap yourself around one. So you can go after the injured
Okay.
one.
The one that is not injured.
Okay, no worries.
That's the one that attacked Fizz, the one that cursed Fizz.
Yes.
Right, that one.
Okay. Metamorphosis score. Oh, that's gonna be a crit. Easily enough, you are able to wrap yourself around it, and I'll say with that, you can even begin constricting. So you will do 8 points of damage to it as you begin to crush this otherworldly being, and you can feel inside of it bones seem brittle and to give way quite easily. However, it doesn't seem particularly affected. There's no yells of pains or shrieks, and almost you can feel the shattered pieces shifting within this flesh bag as they rearrange themselves around your constriction. However,
Okay.
it will be very difficult for it to move on its next turn. Fizz, you're up.
What?
You are.
What is that? What's happening?
He turned into a snake.
You did what now? I can't see.
Can I have a panic attack as a reaction? Or
Yep. Crying is a free action.
Crying is a free action. Freaking out is a free action. Shit. I can't see anything. Okay, so I have various things that use my lightning storm energy. I'm literally I'm gonna okay, I'm gonna pull out another pull down my ice pick and pull up a different thing. It looks almost exactly like the lightning rod. And it has a little ball on the end, and this is the one that everything stores in. But I'm gonna say to Olin, I can probably only use this once. I don't know how it worked. Drew, you'd have to help me out here. In D&D, obviously we're using that as the reference because that's what we play. Yep. We have held actions, right? I don't know how. So what I want is for Olin to help guide my hand, since I can't see, to the one that's not restrained, so that I can shock it with this thing that I have that has you can tell me 1 charge, maybe 2 charges at most, of various lightning energies that I've stored.
It'll be 1 charge at this tier.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It'd be held action, and Olin would have to be using his action essentially.
Yeah,
to,
like a help.
Yes.
Yes. That's what I thought. So I'm basically going to say I need you to help me, and I am going to, what I would use for it, you could tell me would be either intelligence or intuition.
This is a tool, something you're using. Yeah, you can use intelligence for this.
Okay.
However, I am going to, so that'll be your held action.
Yes.
At the end of your turn, I will have you can either give me a Kismet or a Resilience.
I'll do Kismet because I have that.
Right. This is just to overcome the curse.
Okay. It'll be a +5 for my Kismet.
Okay. Jokers don't count. Yep. Correct. Easily enough. As the heavy precipitation now picking up the pitter patter in the clay around you begins to wash away the skunk from your eyes, and you are able to get your visibility back.
Oh God.
You reckon on your turn you won't need the help from Olin anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. That is their turn. First one's just going to go after Olin again, as he's the one that keeps messing with it. As it keeps turning its head towards you. Olin, that is only going to be a 12. What are you using to defend from this as it slashes out towards you with its claws again?
Okay, maybe adaptability, trying to figure out patterns. I'm learning its attack patterns. I'm trying to Dark Souls this.
Okay.
So adaptability for me is a 9.
+2 is 11. Not going to do it. It's going to hit. As it's going to take you a little bit more time as you're trying to watch it. You're watching it a little bit too close. As it digs its nails into you for 6 points of damage. The second one is going to use a contested roll against you, Jin, to try and break free.
Mm-hmm.
So this will be against your metamorphosis.
Yeah.
And it's going to try and finesse
Which
it.
is,
It's just going to try and finesse its way out. So for the creature, that is only a 10. And for you, that's a crit. So you managed to keep holding on to it in the contested roll.
Sweet.
Does not make its way out. Top of the round. Olin, that is you again.
I'm still gonna help Fizz do whatever because I feel he turned into a snake and she's trying to do weird bullshit, and I am a very technology and mundane based guy, and this is a very strange situation. So I'm gonna help her do witch stuff.
Bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tech witch, but yes.
All right, Fizz. In that case, I will flop over 2 cards for you. You will take the highest and add your
Intelligence.
That's a crit.
Sweet. +10.
+10. That's automatically going to hit. I will give you 2 points. I will allow you to do with this crit. I will allow you to do double damage as you get to do 2 points of static damage. For that doesn't count for damage. 10 points and 4 points of lightning damage as
Lightning?
you as you take this similar looking lightning rod that you've used before, and you can feel the static in the air begin to grow as the strength of this storm grows. It's almost like you're reaching up into the air and plucking out extra parts of static before you lean in and shock this thing, as it seems to let out a terrifying screech of pain.
Yeah. I'll look at Olin. I'm calling that one the Storm Spire.
As it's looking quite hurt at the moment. Okay.
He's rolling eyes. I don't care.
And that is your
I'm
turn.
not rolling my eyes. I'm still halfway through a panic attack, and you're throwing
That's
some
fair.
other
That's
shit
fair.
at me, and
That's fair.
Okay, so the one that they are dealing with is, it looks like it's on its last legs.
Yes. Well, yes, soon to be.
Right. If I try to attack it, I have to release this one.
Yes, you will have to. Or you can focus
I
your
figured
attention on
then-
want to continue to
The one
keep
you got. The
restricting
one
it.
you got.
Yeah. I want to use. So if I use a different, all right. So if I use a different trait, will it make me unmetamorph?
Depends on what you use.
So all right, like if I use finesse, which is like a body, which is like in a domain body,
Right.
to get more precision and nimbleness in constraining it, and like I guess stretching it out to make it even harder to get away. Will that will that keep the shape, or do I have to use like metamorphosis to keep it?
You can keep using just your metamorphosis bonus to continue as you're focusing on this chrysalis that you've had, this change, to keep the constriction on it, or you can try to use finesse to shift the various coils of your body that you have wrapped around this strange creature into different places which seem perhaps more vulnerable. The choice is up to yours. It's however you narratively want to do it.
Okay, so with that, I'm going to do the finesse.
Okay.
Because I realize that it can rearrange its own body parts on the inside.
Yep.
So I'm going to try to be more precise in what I do.
All right. What's your modifier to finesse? What's your modifier to your finesse?
Uh, 7.
Oh, you're a bit broken there. Can you just repeat?
Oh, sorry. I said the modifier is a 7.
7. Okay, so that's going to be a 12. It is going to use its. It's also going to use its own similar reflexes to see if it can change itself. Yep, and easy enough as you try to rearrange, you realize that it's shifting these bones within its body quicker than you can. So you still have a hold on it, but it's so quick and unnerving. It's almost as if in your snake form, you can feel something in your own stomach and gullet trying to work its way out as you can feel these unnatural movements against your scales.
Ew.
So you're not going to do any damage, but you will maintain your hold on it.
If things are held, they take like extra is double damage or like.
No, nothing like that. It's just move. They in a restrained situation like this, it can't make attacks. It has to use its action to try and break the holds in some way or the other, and it can't move.
I'll settle for that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thanks.
No worries. All right, Fizz, that is you.
Okay, I've got one more toy. I'm gonna try my best to see if I can give Olin some advantage on an attack. Like, just if I can try to stun it, can you try to attack it? But cover your ears. I'm gonna pull out a little sort of. It looks like a little 2 discs together. Clip a, yeah, exactly. Unclip it, and it is spring loaded. It pops open, but when it pops open, it sounds like a firecracker, just incredibly loud. I kind of want to try to use this to stun the kid that we're the little thing, whatever it is that we're attacking.
Okay.
I don't know if it will do damage. That code call would be yours. If I can stun it and then maybe give Olin advantage on the attack.
This isn't going to be. Yeah, this is going to be more of a shocking. When I say shocking, a stunning flashbang sort of effect.
Exactly.
So intelligence check.
Yes, 10.
Which is 10 plus 10, so that's a 20. It cannot beat that. I don't believe. Nope, with none of its modifiers can it beat a 20. So easily enough, it just, even though there's no eyes, you do it and there's a reeling as it drops down and its hands go in the air, and it's clearly been shocked or shocked and awed by some sort of unexpected tech that happened near it. Okay. That one is stunned for the round and one is restrained for a round. The one that is stunned it's going to slash out at Olin, but it's going to take the lower of the 2.
Ooh, thank God for that.
Yep.
Mhm.
So even though it starts to wildly swing with these long nails and claws, and it does. What are you using to defend against this, Olin?
I think just dexterity, just trying
Yeah.
to
Yep, fair enough. What's your modifier?
8 for that.
8. Okay, I will let you know. You need to beat what? What's your?
Basic.
My
Oh, sorry.
base AC is
Sorry.
10.
So it's 9. 9 plus 8 is 17. So
Yes.
this I will let you know. 9 plus what is its modifier on this? Okay, not going to do it. As
Yeah.
9 plus 8, 17. Oh, meets it. However, this meets it does not beats it. Meets it loses it. As you manage to just lean back just in time, missing, getting out of the way. The second one is still restrained. Top of the round. That is back to you, Olin.
I'm gonna take a slash at the one that's stunned.
Yep, you will take the higher of the two.
Yep, I'm gonna keep going with finesse, which is plus 10.
Yep, jokers don't count. Double eights. 18. It will take the lower of the two as it uses its reflexes, which is not going to do it. 18 is going to hit, so your damage, 7 points of slashing damage. As at this point you hit it at the base of the neck, right above the clavicle, and even though you saw it bend its neck earlier, at this point it just seems to be hanging on by a thread. You look inside, there's necrotized and eaten away flesh, sinew, and cartilage rotting, as you can see a couple centipedes start to come up from the esophagus within, crawling out of the hole. However, it is not done yet. Jin, that's your turn. Biz, you're up.
Sorry, my turn, right?
Yep, you're up.
All right, I'm just gonna keep on trying to squeeze it and hold it in place
Okay,
while
no
they
problem.
work.
Are you going for raw power with your metamorphosis, or are you going to try and finesse it again?
Let's try to finesse it again.
No worries. This is 7 plus your, what's your modifier to your finesse?
7.
7. 14, its base defense for finesse is 13. You're going to do it. So you're going to do, it's only 2 points of this crushing damage. However, it's nothing to scoff at. Yeah, you can. It's hard to get a good grip and to really squeeze this thing tight as it keeps shifting and moving around, almost as if it's not completely solid inside. It feels as if there's things wriggling.
Might be the centipedes.
Okay, Faze, that's your turn.
I don't like that. I don't really have any more toys that I can play with, so I'm just getting the one that Olin cut down and open throat. What can we see? What is it like?
Gross.
It's still up, but inside
right.
of it is gross. It's sinew and cartilage, and you can see the tendons that are stretching. Inside is almost this gray, ashy color, completely devoid of any moisture, as there's a small of black glue which drips out, and a couple of centipedes have come up. The esophagus made its way down the body towards this muddy clay earth.
I don't really know what I can do because again, I have nothing in body. I'm not that kind of character at all.
That's fine.
I have adaptability.
You can still use intelligence and swing your.
Well, yeah, I was thinking intelligence or intuition because I would like to look closely if I can. I'm small, kind of like swing around Olin's legs, see if I can use my little knife just a straight up knife now, to see if I can see anything, if I can see any, I don't know, vessels or something that needs to actually be properly cut for it to die, or to take it down lower.
Okay, so what are you using for this?
You, I mean, you could tell
Your
me.
perception.
I can. Well, actually, I'll use. Can I use essence for it? Because something. Obviously, these are not natural creatures. So if I can use my arcana in some way to figure out kind of what's the driving energy behind this thing.
Yes,
So
you won't do any damage. This is just more trying to learn about these creatures.
That's fine, and I can always point it out to Olin for his next turn.
That's a crit.
Sweet, plus 9.
9. So, yeah, easily enough. As you look around and you can see how they're moving, you can definitely get the sense that there's something. When I say arcane in nature, I mean something not what we typically know as arcane, but paranormal, right? There is a weird aspect, WYRD aspect to them. You can see that they also seem to perhaps what's the word I'm looking for here? Have a sense of glamour to them. Originally, it was only after Jin had really tapped into something and really focused in on that clairvoyance that he noticed that they did not look like the true children you were looking for.
Right.
And with that as well, tapping into the essence of them, almost in a strange, unintuitive way, running your fingers along the calf of one as you get down, touching its skin, this gray ashy skin. You can also sense there's something that's maybe a little bit vulnerable to them. However, what sense of vulnerability, you're unsure. But that's what you're able to gather. You also know that they are, as you can see, quite quick with high reflexes.
What can I tell? Does any of that translate into something I can tell Olin, or in this instant for his information?
Nothing he wouldn't know. Nothing that would necessarily help him in the combat that he wouldn't already know. But you get this deeper sense to them.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's my turn.
Okay. The one that has been stunned is going to go after Owen, making one last dash. No longer stunned. That is going to be a 19. Oh, hold on. Let me just double check. An 18 to hit you, Owen.
Can I try to dodge roll my way out of this with like adaptability or something?
Right. So essentially, what that means is you're adding your adaptability onto your base defense.
Okay, which makes that my adaptability is 9, so that would be a 19.
19, easy enough. Dodge roll your way out of it. As it goes for one last swing with its claws, and now you dodge roll your way out of it, getting your t-shirt covered in now wet clay. Your arms and arm here sticking together as you've now rolled into this mud. The second one is going to try and get out using.
It is a good thing you took off your sweatshirt.
Yeah.
That's going to be a crit, as the second one is going to wriggle its way free, almost completely turning into a bag of flesh as it drops to the floor and like limbos its way out of the bottom of your constriction. There, Jin. However, that is going to be its turn. Top of the round, we're back to you, Olin.
Everyone's trying weird things, but my trusty cutlass seems to be doing the job, so I'm just gonna keep hacking at it.
Yep.
Where's
Will he get any kind of advantage from me trying to help him, or no? All right.
Yes, Mom. I know they're weird nightmare creatures. I'm trying to.
I just needed to confirm it. I just needed to see it.
Oh, did you? The backwards
Yes,
feed
I did. I am a
horrific
scientist.
centipede blood wasn't enough.
Just hit the thing. Why are you arguing with me? Just hit it.
Okay, that's what's your modifier to your
Finesse is 10.
10? 19. 19's gonna do it. There is no way you don't kill this thing. Absolutely. With 9 damage. Olin, finish it.
I feel like typically finishing it comes with a degree of pride and power. Owen's having a panic attack, so he's just going, "Oh, ah!"
Yeah, at this point, just within your fast hyperventilation, the last one you managed to just, as it leans forward, its head flopping on its neck, you manage to just time it correctly, slash that last little bit of sinew and tendons as it just flops and begins to roll, and this whole thing quickly begins to melt almost. Parts of it flaking off like dried skin, blowing in this breeze, and at that point there is a large amount, probably in high teens, low 20s of centipedes, which then come out and quickly scuttle and dash their way towards this forest just beyond. At which point you can then begin to hear the boom, boom, boom tolling of the church bell. As you look back, and there seems to be a figure up within the bell tower looking out towards your direction. And as your eyes are fixated on that, there's one more sharp piercing scream followed by another coming from the direction of the forest where you heard the other 2 kids. And as you all quickly turn and snap and look that direction, it looks like there's one large centipede which has circled itself around both of the kids, its large pincers and fangs hanging just above their heads, this yellowish green ooze dripping from its pincers.
Ew.
And that's where we'll end our session.
Yee.
Delightful.
No way.
Amazing.
I would like to remind our viewers at home that this is not emblematic of the behavior of all centipedes. This is a statistical outlier. Centipedes are very good for the environment. They eat cockroaches. They are, in fact, little friends.
I would like them to
They
stay out
they
of
don't
my
have
house.
eyes, so when they hit flesh, they just assume it's something they can eat and they bite it. Just,
They bite.
be kind to your local critters. And they won't possess a corpse and try to kill you.
Yeah. Thank
You
God.
do have
Centipedes
information,
can't
right?
actually do that.
I mean, they
Not-
could,
Yeah, we're not sure, but
I haven't put it to the
Fair.
test. This is not
You
peer
see,
reviewed
what's-
literature, but
What's fun about this is that I have a fairly good knowledge of Caribbean folklore. So I'm doing my best not to metagame this, guys, because I know exactly what those things were immediately. But of course, I don't know what the mechanics are for them. I just find it fascinating. I love it.
yes. Sweet. Well, thanks very much, everyone, again. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to tune in next week to figure out if the kids get eat by the centipede, or if our intrepid heroes will be able to step in for the day and save
and
them.
also how Jin turned into a snake. You
How
can
he
just
yeah,
do
right?
that.
Yeah.
This,
Yeah, figure out who the man in the bell
This
tower
is
is.
fascinating.
More questions to be answered.
Did we all
Thank you.
see the man in the bell tower, by the way?
Yes, everyone did. Yes. You saw a silhouetted figure standing there pulling the chime of the bell tower.
Did you have a kid?
That was my kid. I don't know what that was about, but all right. Yes, I
Yes.
can see
Special
you.
guest star.
Special guest star.
Yes. Regardless, thank you guys so much. Again, thank you so much for the wonderful support so far for Monsters and Myths having reached the goal within a matter of days. Unprecedented. The whole community is super thankful. We're looking forward for any further promotions and stretch goals that we may reach. And we're excited for fleshing the rest of it out, bringing the rest of this live play to you, and seeing where everything goes. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you next week. Bye.
Bye.
And we are officially out. Good job, folks.
Huzzah.